It's 11 o'clock at night and you are working on the website of your side hustle when your baby starts to cry. You get up and then you step on a Lego block and the pain is excruciating, but you have to hold yourself in, because if you scream or let your frustration show, it will not only upset the baby further, but also wake up your partner and the toddler who left the block there. By the time you return to your website, the spark is gone. And then you remember your boss's expectation to have that report on her desk the next morning by 9, and you haven't written it yet. Then you remember, oh, my mum texted me. She was worried about my dad's health and I didn't respond. And your sister's marriage is falling apart, and there's that friend that you feel so guilty about that got that terrible diagnosis last week. If this is your life, welcome to humanity. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, but the problem is when you get roped in by hustle culture, the current culture of the day, and when you are overwhelmed, you get people who tell you, take a minute and journal about everything that you're experiencing. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I already have too much to do, and now you're adding journaling to my to-do list. Or they tell you, just take a moment and think how you can reframe the situation. Come up with more positive, empowering thoughts. Sorry, when I'm in that state of overwhelm, it's as if my logical brain has gone AWOL. It's not available. I can't think myself better in those circumstances. And here's my favorite one. You just have to create better habits. Oh, please, that's not the time to think about that either. I'm Risa Haasbroek. I call myself the Dragon Whisperer. I started my own successful online business in 2016, and I've been coaching entrepreneurs like you since 2020 how to get over overwhelm. I've been there many times, so I know all the tricks. So let me invite you on a journey with me. Let's go on a little road trip that will get you to the top of the mountain, where instead of feeling like this frayed piece of string, like a rope that's so stringy and going in all the directions, you will get to that mountaintop and suddenly you will be calm again, you will have clarity, and the best part, you will have confidence. The confidence, I can do this. I can build this side hustle while all these other things are going on in my life. But on our journey to the top of that hill, we are going to make 3 rest stops, waypoints if you like. And I'm going to tell you how I coach myself out of overwhelm and how I've coached other people out of it. And it's not the way that you think. It's a lot more easy. Easy does it. So, are you ready? Let's go. Our first stop is called noticing. That is where you just acknowledge the fact that you experience overwhelm. But I want you to tweak it slightly. Instead of telling yourself, I am overwhelmed, tell yourself, I feel overwhelmed. It's a tiny tweak with a big shift. Can you feel the difference when you do that? Now you are bigger than the feeling. You're not the feeling. The feeling doesn't have you. You have the feeling of overwhelm. There's more space in you, more spaciousness in you to experience other things as well. That's our first little waypoint. The second one, we drive up the hill a little bit more, second stop. Now this is about remembering. It's about reminding yourself. And the big thing you want to remind yourself, that what I do when I get there, is I never experience life, any circumstances, any situation from the outside in. It's always an inside out experience. I am creating this experience this very moment with my own mind. I'm not going to ask you to change your thinking. We are not going to ask you to come up with better thoughts. Not at this point. It's just this recognition, this acknowledgement that I am the one creating this experience. And while you're acknowledging that, there are two more truths I just want you to hold loosely again. And the first one is, I do not have to believe everything that I think. And the second one is, I do not have to keep thinking something that's really not serving me. We are not yet going to ask you to change that. We are not going to swap a bad thought for a better one. Not at this point. Not the time to do it. We are just acknowledging this truth that I am creating this experience from within myself and then projecting it to the outside world. Okay, the next step, you're going to love it so much. I think this is the game changer. So let's turn out to waypoint number 3. And this is where I'm going to tell you, as a dragon whisperer, to drop into a feeling. But that feeling is not excitement. It's not inspirational. It's not curious. None of the feelings that we would associate with being able to create a side hustle. None of that. It's a deeper feeling. It's a feeling, the sense of being alive. It's hard to express it in words because it's a feeling, it's not a thought. I want you to feel this with your soul. And the best way that I can think of to convey what it is I'm talking about is by telling you a story of one of my clients who came up with such an amazing, unexpected way of explaining this to himself and to me. Let me share that. So it's my client Alex. He has a very nice full-time job with nice flexibility so that he can spend some time in his side business. He loves his job, but the side hustle is actually where his heart is pulling him. He has a young family. He has also a couple of relationships in his life that are taxing, family members, also business partners, and so forth. But at that point, I would say he was coping. He was not thriving, but he was doing okay. But then he lost his job. The organization he worked for had huge layoffs, unexpected layoffs, that he felt blindsided by what happened, and he was feeling what we are talking about in this video. Total overwhelm. But I wanted him to experience that deeper feeling, that sense of being alive. I wanted to make that the focus point of the session I had with him. It was an emergency session. I need to talk to Risa. Let me just make this appointment. And so I asked him, when do you feel most like yourself? And that's when he gave this surprising response. He said, it's when I'm stone skipping. Stone skipping. That was not what I was expecting at all. But then he started talking about it. How as a student, he would go to the river nearby and he would skip stones on the river. And while he was talking, I could see in his eyes, I could see in his body, he was back. He was there. He was no longer overwhelmed. He was alive. He was there. And he explained it to me more and more, and I could see that he was ready for my teasing. So I asked him, were you any good? And he said, oh yes. I said, okay, so how many skips? 6, 7. He was like, no, Risa, more like 20. And I was like, oh, this guy was really good at this stone skipping thing. And then he told me that he even once attended a world championship in stone skipping. Looked at the people and he thought, I could give them a good run for their money. Okay, but I know, who knew that there were world championships in stone skipping, but apparently they are. He was really enjoying it. I was enjoying him. We were like talking soul to soul. But then he suddenly became sad again. He remembered all the circumstances he had to deal with. And he said, I don't have time to go stone skipping anymore. I told him, you don't have to. It would be lovely if you could make more time for it. But all you have to do is remember who you are, how you are when you're stone skipping. And let that Alex deal with your current challenges. And he became very, very quiet. And then tears were brimming in his eyes, but they were joy tears. He was on again. He was shining again. And he said, I'm going to be okay, aren't I? And I said, yes, you are going to be okay. That was our third waypoint. Now I want you to join me on the top of that mountaintop where I promised you that you will have confidence again and you will be calm and you will have clarity. Being there, navigating life from that deeper sense of aliveness, of realness of you, gives you one of the best gifts life can give you: perspective. When you are up there, when it's like your consciousness has rised, when you are there, you can see your progress. You can see how far you've come. You can also see what you should prioritize. What should be your next step if you want to build this amazing life for yourself. So join me there with your version of whatever stone skipping is, and navigate life from there. And once you are there, now it's a good time to journal and, take stock and see, where am I at? What could I change? Now is a good time to think about habits. How can I set myself up better for success? And it's also a good time to ask yourself, how can I reframe the situation? What are new thoughts that are more constructive that will serve me better? But only then, and then alone, when you've reconnected to your deeper self, would you ask those questions. If you would like to explore this with me, I offer one-on-one calls, and it can be a once-off if you want that. I have a program as well, but I will give the details of how you can reach out to me in the description. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and the next one is coming up right here.